Hello everyone, this is the LEGO Star Wars Smart Play System Mos Eisley Cantina, and it is somehow simultaneously a good deal better and a fair bit worse than what I've heard people talking about on social media to date. This one cost $80 US, it's 80 euros or 70 pounds UK, not available in Canada as of this time because they're still doing a limited rollout up to now for these new Smart Play sets. The number of pieces in this set shows me that the design team is intent upon getting the company in PR trouble eventually, just hasn't happened yet. And though this is a smart play set with lots of smart brick functionality, it does not include a smart brick. For that, you need to spend at least $70 more on a whole other set. And though this does have the perfect spot for Han Solo and Greedo to have their little interaction, the set does not include Han Solo. For him, you have to spend another $100 for the smart version of him. However, there's actually no smart functionality built into this whole section of the build. It's just a traditional build. It doesn't matter if you have the smart figures or a smart brick or not. You just use this in a traditional way. The whole thing is built with modules that you can reorder between each other, put them wherever you want. So I'll just show you each module one by one. Here's the outside of it. You just saw the inside. This just has a little trough to give some water and a little bit of food, just a snack to various animals, beasts of way and of work, and just I guess a leash or a place where you could hook one up to when you go inside. This next module is just a door. It actually looks pretty decent to me. You see it has some thickness, and here you have the all-important no droids allowed, although it's being a little bit specific going after R2 astromechs. You also notice that this set does have stickers, and the sticker color match here is not particularly good, but at least it's intended to represent a sign, so it doesn't look too embarrassing, but LEGO should be able to do better. You just open this by pulling it straight up. If you want it to stay open, that's too bad. You just have to take it out. And they don't have any smart features here to ensure that you don't allow any droid in, or like a droid detector that would actually have an alarm or something. You can also put the door in either way, front or back, wherever you want the detail. This is a little bit of bar and a self-service mixing station, and this is the first area that actually has smart functionality built into it. So for this one, everything is on the inside other than this one little actuator for us to use, but no additional detail for the figures and kind of the world building. Outside, there's actually a sticker on the wall here that shows a couple of recipes as well, so giving you some ideas for things to do, and that's going to be, like I said, with the smart brick integration. Smart brick not included, but if you do have one by spending the extra money, then you can use that. You can use it with the blender, so you can see some of the ingredients right there that you can pull out. I also appreciate the recolor of the insert of the fluid to get the blue milk over here. That's a nice piece to have for sure. Hopefully those will be more and more available. This is the interactive part here, which has a blender on it. So you can either activate that from back here just remotely, or you can just kind of, come right up upon it. Unlike all of the things that I've seen to date that are smart brick related or that have smart brick integration, this one doesn't have what I call affectionately, or rather unaffectionately, the smart hole. A very, very ugly, huge, gaping void where the smart brick is supposed to go. What all LEGO apologists basically have said up to this point is that kids absolutely need to have a giant, huge open space to be able to put the smart brick in or take it out. Otherwise, kids will not be able to play with the thing effectively. And this shows that, according to LEGO, that is simply false, because the smart brick goes here, and yet they provided not even a stickered piece, but a printed piece. This is a nice printed console piece with some detail on it in the 2x4 tile, and that's just a vanity cover. So if you don't have anything from the smart system, you can still play with this, and it still looks like halfway decent. It has the red behind there, but at least it doesn't look like this, which is what you would normally see with these smart systems. So I'm glad to see that LEGO has come through and proven that kids are able to remove like a single tile or something very simple if they want to put a smart brick onto there, or to use these interactive electronic features. So that shows that this is a tag. So that's a tag that can be read. It has a little coil inside of it. Passes just a tiny bit of information to a smart brick if you have one, to let the smart brick know that this is a blender. So I'll go ahead and use this. You got to shake it up to activate it, and mine is not turning on, even though it is fully, dang it. Well, this is most unfortunate. Little charging pad. Ah, there we go. Signs of life. There we go. Look, it's green. That means it's fully charged. It just went into a state where it just wouldn't wake up at all. That's very odd. Evidently what happened was it went into shipping mode where it locks down to make sure it doesn't use up its battery, but that was not well communicated in their documentation. All right, back to the review here. So here's my blender functionality, and I will bring in Greedo as well to be a customer. His sounds come up, and it looks like I should be able to add just 2 ingredients together and get a different result based on what we see over here on the receipt thing. So I will use, oops, whoa, easy. I will use this. Okay, so it turns green. Go ahead, put that in there. And now I will use actually this together. So we should get like cyan. So here's the blue. And then you're supposed to just kind of mix it. Wait, it sounded like he already drank it. And he just did a drinking sound again. The lights only turn white. Okay, so what happens if I do the red thing here? Oh, it's interrupting itself. Red, give me red. Yes, red. Yes, red. Good. Okay, it doesn't know that these things are here on top, so we go from red to green. Should we get something yellow? Nope, he's talking. Can we get something yellow? Can we get it to recognize it? This is very frustrating already. Oh, and then he drank it. His drinking sound. This thing is so frustrating. First of all, it doesn't work. It doesn't do anything except make sounds sometimes. Secondly, it is not consistent with how it works. Like right now, it's not reading this at all. That's just because it's in a state where it's stuck. He just decided to drink. Now it's showing red a little bit. It's just going back and forth and getting stuck. It's so weird and so inconsistent. Red, good. And now he just drank it because I moved it a little bit. Green. And it's still showing green. It's still showing green. What is that all about? What you put on the top doesn't matter. You can do this at any point. And when it stops, you'll hear a drinking sound. So if we take this off entirely, all this stuff up here, and don't use ingredients at all, you just do this. He then drinks. All right, let's see if we can reset and get better performance from the stage here. So this is where the Bith band is supposed to pop up and play. I'll go ahead and put these on. It actually doesn't matter, but that's perfectly fine because these are simply non-smart figures. I'll go ahead and center them as well towards the front. They're just basically set dressing, and that's perfectly fine. I actually really like the mechanism here. It's so simple, but very effective and very consistent. Just the physical motions there, the way that they made this with these linkages, these relatively recent bars kind of act like handlebars where you can attach the center anywhere. They're just going down into these Technic half pins, which have no friction, and they're basically everything here is self-aligning, and it's just such a simple mechanism that works very nicely. They also have shock absorbers on the sides with those rubber Technic bushings back there to keep it from just hitting the ends of its travel too hard. You've got the microphone stand here. You've got a spot to put somebody, but this is something that has smart brick integration, and once again, it doesn't have a huge gaping smart hole space because, again, unlike what the apologists have told me repeatedly, kids are capable of taking a small thing off and moving it away in order to put something else there. A little bit of a mic check right there. And this is kind of the key feature. So let me go ahead and grab one of the other figures from this set, another smart figure, which is Obi-Wan here. So he can be the singer. And what I've seen demonstrated with this previously is that it makes terrible sounds. You can barely even make out what the music is supposed to be. And you mostly hear just the motion of the bricks. That's what I've seen up to this point. But in reality, Okay, so Obi-Wan is actually kind of messing with the flow here. I'm going to take him away because he doesn't seem to know how to sing. As a matter of fact, no figures know how to sing. They just say random things when they're up here. So I strongly recommend not using a smart figure with this, but that's okay. Wait, do you see that? And do you hear that? So this whole time I've been under the impression, and probably thousands of people have been under the impression, that this feature does not work, that this feature is just terrible and completely useless. And at best, most of the sound that you hear is just bricks moving. And it's not that at all. You don't even have to touch the thing. It is so sensitive to movement that just slight vibrations in the table will activate it. And just the frequency of those vibrations that it feels will set the tempo. Now, it's not going to follow your tempo exactly, but you just need small little vibrations. So I'm just hitting it. And you can set the speed. To recap, iconic and highly controversial Han Greedo shootout space has no smart functionality whatsoever, and as a result works just fine. Door does not have smart functionality whatsoever, so though it's supposed to keep out droids, it doesn't. All of this does nothing but make a sound. Basically, if you have a smart figure there, it drinks and the blender turns on. There are recipes here that do nothing. There are ingredients that do nothing but temporarily change the color on the top and then have no effect in the end. But they do have a nice little cover that a lot of people said was not possible. That just makes the whole thing look much better if you don't have a smart brick there. Same thing with this space over here with a nice little cover that's a boom box. Maybe not the most accurate thing in universe, but I'm good with it. I think it makes sense. Again, covers up the thing when you don't have any smart functionality there. Heard that this thing was terrible, and it's actually fine. Now, it doesn't have a whole lot of notes that it plays. You know, it only plays a little bit of the official tune, and you know, it's low quality and everything, but it's actually kind of fine. And here's what everything looks like from the other side, kind of the outside. Again, you can easily just swap these around, you know, change the order if you want. The last thing here is a Dewback, which is definitely blocky, and immediately everyone wants to say, well, the Microfighter one is better. Yes, that one's designed more to look good and to just have somebody sit on the back. This one has additional features, including the integration with the smart brick if you happen to have one. But look at how they did the legs on this. They actually pivot out. So as this walks, so forget about the smart stuff for a minute. As this walks, it kind of waddles back and forth and has a little bit of motion to it, which is kind of cool. And I actually found that you could do this. It will balance if you get it right. And on some surfaces, I was able to get it to do this. Oh, there we go. Just change the center of gravity so you can actually have it balance on its side, which is kind of a fun little thing. The head is able to go up and down, just has the eye there, which I think looks good. Actually, the whole shape of this I think looks good. It's too bad it doesn't have the lead or the leash though. It's got the spot to hook it up, but it doesn't come with actual pieces to connect to somebody who's riding on it. But this is on a mixel ball joint, so it's able to rotate around as well as go up and down. And the same thing for the tail back here. So you've got a little bit of side to side, a little bit of up and down, the ability to rotate it. And then on the saddle, which is pretty blocky, you know, this is the spot where you put the figure, and I'll go ahead and put this Sand Trooper up on top, have it sit right there, which is not a smart figure at all. So it's just gonna, it doesn't matter whether it's on there or not, whether you have a smart brick or not. So that's just basically what it looks like when you do have a Sand Trooper on there. And if you're not using a smart brick, you can put a second figure back here easily with just the parts that are included, or you can take a couple off and actually stack it up to at least 3 people. But if you do have a smart brick, you can put that on there. So shake this up. There we go. It's activated like it's supposed to now. And okay, so it makes the beast sounds. And I heard a lot of people say that this is the cutest thing in the entire world, is the best thing ever made because you can pet it. Not sure if you noticed what happened there. Hello? Hello? There we go. Yeah, you can pet it. And it purrs, supposedly. Or you don't have to pet it. Again, if you just simply vibrate the table that you're on, which of course kids would do all the time because they're not trying to be super, super ridiculously careful. Anytime that you just move the surface a tiny bit, it's going to purr and it's going to give you this super cute petting the head reaction. In other words, the petting the head reaction is very, 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 very contrived. If it works, like if you like this, cool, but you're going to be triggering the same action more frequently just by touching the table. And that's all I'm doing over here, just touching the table a little bit, get it to vibrate a little bit, depending upon where this is. Let me adjust this a little bit. There we go. Yeah, see, yeah, that's it. And also the other thing that this does is go to sleep. So if you do this, that's a yawn. And that's its snore. And that's waking up. Taking a closer look at the minifigures, again, Obi-Wan there on the left is a smart figure, so you will see prints underneath his arms on the sides because LEGO has made it very clear that they cannot print on the sides of torsos. That's just asking way too much, but here we've got prints on both sides. It's just unfortunate ones. You also have a print on the back, and you see that Greedo over on the right is also a smart figure, so that's unfortunate that you see a little bit of the second face of Obi-Wan here. In the middle is a sand trooper, arguably a corporal with that, or at least a squad or platoon leader with that black pauldron, but there's been a lot of debate about that out there. But that's a very good looking figure. I think that all of these figures look decent. Of course, we would always like to see like a cape or something with a figure like this, but for how it's designed, I think it actually looks decent at least. And these two here look very good to me. Taking this off so you can see the actual face underneath, and also we want to see the alternate face for Obi-Wan. There you go. And then here we get two Bith band members that are identical other than the included instruments. You got the saxophone, which is a single molded piece, and then this is made of 3 pieces over here to look pretty respectable itself. And yeah, these figures look nice, but they are not smart figures, so they don't do anything special. And I think that's perfectly fine because, well, the rest of the set works fine without any additional functionality or cost here. I'll close things out with a different configuration of the modules just for the heck of it. Again, this was $80 US. It's 80 euros or 70 pounds UK for less than 700 pieces with a selection of 5 minifigures. 2 of them have the little coil inside that tells the smart brick what to do, but no smart brick is included here. And one of the smart functions is terrible, and one of the smart functions is fine as just a single noise generator. A very, very extraordinarily basic thing. Being able to change the tempo is a nice little trick, not as good as spinning or anything, but it's something. But I'm sure it'll get old really fast, no matter what the age of the kid. Once the kid shows it to other kids that they play with, that's kind of it. After that, it's just a noise generator. You could just literally have a sound brick that just has a button that you push if you want to play that tiny bit. And as a matter of fact, a sound brick would have much better quality and probably have the potential for the entire song for that matter. Maybe not the whole thing, but I mean, a lot more than this has. It looks okay. Everything that's here, I think, looks okay. It doesn't suffer too much from having all of the smart functionality included because, again, they have shown canonically, LEGO has, that they are able to legally put things over the smart brick, slots, the smart brick holder that make the scenes look significantly better than had they not put those parts on there. So kind of the loss that you get here with the smart brick system is very minimal compared with most of the other sets that severely compromise the design. Some people would say that the Dewback is compromised, and sure, it just has less pieces and it's designed to do this. It's not perfect for everyone, but it is designed. The whole thing is designed for play and designed to work with the smart brick system. And this whole system is designed for younger kids. This is not going to be a UCS collector's style model. If you don't like this, you can just leave that part out. You can leave this red part out. Ultimately a tiny bit of removal, if what you see really bothers you, can make things look better. But all in all, this is very much a mixed bag that ends up having a little bit of a win for the smart brick system, because this does something, which with other sets that I've tested so far, most of the stuff does nothing, or definitely does not do what it is advertised to do. This does about 2/3 of what it's advertised to do. It's very strange that it doesn't do things that you would expect to happen here with a digital integration there and there. But, just all in all, this is the most meh of them all. And that's actually, at least that I've tested so far, and that's actually a good thing, because the rest have been aggressively bad for the most part, especially with the digital integration. Again, this does not include a smart brick, so that's $70 right there for the cheapest set that Lego currently sells as of this recording in order to get that in there. Has some decent parts, figures. I mean, 2 of them have the extra stuff that you don't want to see on the back and stuff. So yeah, this is okay. This is not an aggressive do not buy. If you like everything that you see here, at the very least, I think kids can enjoy this set. Even when they get tired of using the smart brick, they get tired of the smart brick locking itself up, and not working, and needing to ask their parents, or needing to know that you've got to get the charger out, hook it up, touch this, and kind of unlock it. Also, the fact that these only last for 45 minutes, and Lego is now saying 2.5 hours plus to recharge them, and 45 minutes at the most of play, which I've seen it being less than that. So, but take that out of the equation, it's still like an okay set. Is it an $80? Is it $80 worth of value here without the smart stuff used? If you don't add $70 more to your system to use the smart stuff? No. Is it $80 of value if you already had one of these? No. Still no. No, sorry. It needs to be much better. But at least it's not aggressively bad across the entire board. And for Smart Play so far, that's a win. Thanks for watching. Also, a special thanks today to the very chill and very cool and very supportive live stream viewing community over on Twitch, who helped to request this and also helped to cover the financial outlay for it. So thank you very much to that community, which has also been extremely supportive of a bunch of charities. We have passed $200,000 raised for charities to date over on Twitch. So y'all over there have a lot to be proud of. Thank you for being great people. Really appreciate you. And a lot of others out there are being helped by your funds. Appreciate you. Take care, and I'll talk to you again soon.